Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the Jacksonville...
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Los Angeles Rams. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led onto the field by the former third-round pick back in 2012, and that's the quarterback, Nick Foles.
Love his build, love his arm. Had a Pro Bowl season with the Philadelphia Eagles, looking to scale those heights once again.
Now a first carry for Isaiah Crowell. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. They'll try the right side with Crowell. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Foles. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Now it's Gurley. And they'll get him down up past the 15. It's a gain of 15, and the Rams have a first down. So a little breathing room now. 1st and 10 at the 17. Now Gurley. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dontari Poe marches in for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Murray now to throw. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
On 2nd down, here's Crowell. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. A shotgun handoff now to Crowell. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Here's Foles. And this is going to be incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. And Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. 12 yards there and a first down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On first down, it's Gurley. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. 2nd and 5 now. Murray. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 31-yard line. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure
and he's got it. That's Kupp for a Ram touchdown. Cooper Kupp, his first touchdown on the year. And the Rams have taken the lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They keep it with Crowell on first. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On second down, Crowell. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Now Foles. It's caught here by Adams. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll be second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Open man is the tight end, Nick Boyle. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Well, that was a long attempt to begin with, so the fake you might have known was somewhat of a possibility. Credit to the defense, though. They weren't fooled.
You're right, they weren't fooled. And they were in a position of having to play it both ways. Guard for the fake, but you still want to rush the kicker because it was a makeable kick. So they ended up getting the best out of the whole thing. Stuffed the fake, and they take over the ball.
And they'll get him down as he's inside. The 40.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Murray. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Woods, the intended receiver.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. The open man is Westbrook. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. 2nd and 6. That's into the hands of the tight end Boyle. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Foles now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. He'll look to throw. That one complete. He finds Shark. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he nearly picked it. Maybe daylight in front of him if he could have held on. Instead, 2nd down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Trying to get it there to D.D. Westbrook. 3rd down here.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Completes it to Lee. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Here's Logan Cook now as he'll kick it away for the second time. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. On 2nd and 9, Murray steps away to his left. And he'll be out of bounds right at about the 10-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Rams going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the second half gets started. This will be now a hit and a loose football.
How many times in the course of a game do you talk about momentum plays? And I think we just saw one there. Just scored, right?
Just took the lead.
Just took the lead, went downfield, got the ball free again, and picked it up. They got a chance to really get the momentum on their side now.
And now they'll try to pile on. Murray going to throw. That'll be caught by Cup. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a Rams first down on a pickup of 10. Murray now on first down. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Jayon Brown. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Another try after the first down sack. Murray, and the pressure gets to him again. Josh Allen in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Go. Safety's creeping. 47 minutes.
Murray with a 3rd and long. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They'll drop and throw. He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Kyle Van Noy coming in to drop him for a loss of 8. And it also brings up 4th. You thought we'd see pressure. You weren't kidding.
Yeah, I thought that they'd be very aggressive in that type of a situation. And that's what they call getting home. Because home is where the quarterback is.
And where the heart is.
And that heart just got shattered in 1,000 pieces.
Got you, boy. I got you, boy.
Time to establish the run game here. Gurley. That's a gain of 13, first down Rams. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It's a gain of 15, and the Rams have a first down. So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Here's Murray, and finding the tight end Hooper. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A. Throwing on first down is Murray. He'll get this one to Kupp, complete. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when, and he told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident and keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Let's go! Let's go!
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another first. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Josh Allen able to record his 5th sack of the season.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
After the sack on first down, Murray, and he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yard. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line.
Every time it's a set.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. Here we go. It's Gurley. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Todd Gurley, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Rams tack on to their advantage. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Jaguars getting set to go. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. On the run, it's Crowell. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Kyle Van Noy able to record his 5th sack of the season. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
And now a pass dumped off to his running back. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up. They've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dante Fowler, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Rams get the football in outstanding field position. So they really needed points here in a two-score game. Could not come away with anything there on fourth.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. To throw is Murray. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Josh Allen in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Throwing now is Murray. They'll roll him out right. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down. The Rams on third down, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Murray, and it's complete. Hooper. And they'll get this down to the 10. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. On 1st and goal, Gurley. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Todd Gurley. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Rams tack on to their advantage. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Zerline good with a PAT. And the lead is up to 18 now. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it's finished off by a Todd Gurley touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Push it back. Push it back.
There's Foles. He's going to let it fly. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. And he will not be able to get away as Foles is taken down. Kyle Van Noy in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And he's going to go down again. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. Well, Foles and the Jags now have to deal with a 3rd and long after that sack. Now Foles. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Nickel Roby-Coleman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And that one, Charles, is just going to about wrap up what was no doubt a dominating defensive performance.
Yeah, I don't care what team it is. I don't care who you play, whether they're strong offensively or not. Just giving up 3 points in the NFL, that's absolutely a dominant performance and one that they can build on.
Back to the workhorse today. It's Gurley. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 31 yards there and a first down. So the L.A. Rams with a victory here. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credential. Best of both worlds when we rockin' over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady. To the letter rock. Turn it up. We giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Gentlemen. When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, the pass to your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin, subjugate.